G'day, bushcraft survivalists and preppers. Spring has finally broken, but it's not over yet. But anyway, let's have a walk around and see what's growing. Well, as we can see behind me is the gorse. That's a start there. You know, we're getting gorse heads, but that runs pretty well. There's two types of gorse in this particular part. I think it's Dutch gorse and Manx gorse. So one's tall, one's not. But it does mean we've got pretty consistent flowers for most of the year. So we've got the gorse flowers, but let's go and have a look around. At this time of year is coming into fresh food and hunting really, or fresh leafy food and hunting. You know, we've gone through the winter now. We've probably used all our berries and nuts that we got off the autumn crops. And we've had our spring feed, our nutritious feed off the birch tree. So what's coming up next? Well, really, as I say, we are dependent on trapping and hunting and whatever we can get on the leafy side of it. But anyway, here we go. This is the start of the blackberry. And as you can see, there's young leaves coming up here. Good leaf tea, high in vitamin C, with other medicinal reasons. So, you know, that's one. Let's keep on going. Let's have a look around. Next one's an interesting plant and some consider poisonous, but it has uses for the heart. It slows the heart down, and that can be useful in arrhythmia, I think you call it, and other things. But it is too much of it is poisonous. But anyway, it's good to see it about because I know I can use it medicinally. But here's the foxglove. Don't get that one wrong, really. With, I suppose, its closest comparisons is the primrose, which everything about the primrose is edible, you know, the whole plant. And you could easily, in its early stages, confuse this for the primrose. Although not easily, but just watch out for that. Early signs of wood sorrel starting to peep through and flower. We know we get a crop of that, but that is, we don't get a lot of that, and there's not a lot of nutrition, but it does help. Some more over here. Behind me is the sallow, which is a member of the willow family. Remember, the willow family produces asparagine, is it? But it's aspirin to us, and it's where the original aspirin come from. So, you know, if we've got pains in aches or children, how we can chew leaves of the bark, leaves or the bark, to cure toothache and various other things, and various other pains. Let's get that right. But anyway, that's another one, but that's been going for a while now, but that's coming into, it's growing again. And over here, I think I spot, yep, here's the elder. We have our first flowers, you can see there, coming up. Elderflower, elderberry, produced later on in the spring. Elderflower wine, we've seen that one before in my tutorials. But springtime is bursting open. This is about to dispel a theory that ferns are edible. Well, not all ferns are edible, and this is a non-edible, as you can see. If you cut a fern in half, it should have a shape like that. And I think it's a Dutch fern, but the tops are very edible, and I can't think what it's called now. It's violin or something like that. It's called. They nickname it because this rolls out like the end of a violin, you know. But this isn't edible. I don't know if it's poisonous, but it's definitely not edible. So we'll discard that because we do get plenty of that. If you know what I mean. But anyway, let's keep going. And the raspberry starting to become active again. You know, we can use the leaves for tea. It's a nice find to find a raspberry. It's a change from blackberry, but again we can use the fruit later on in the summer. The dock's starting to pick up again now. Fresh leaves for wiping ourselves and putting around our wounds. Lots of stuff coming out, new growth. Absolutely love the spring, even though it's not the most nutritious part of the year other than the birch. Thistle's starting to kick off. Won't be long before that's size enough to eat. What we do there is peel back all the thistles and stuff gently with your knife and peel the stem, and you can eat it like celery. Another nutritious plant to have, probably late spring before we can sort of do anything with this. But I do notice, looking around, some of them are starting to get big enough now, if need be. Here we have plantain, greater plantain. This is pretty well all year round, this, but and it's a last year's plant. It must be a perennial. I'm not 100% sure of that, but that's always available. We look along, we can see the primroses, ever present early spring. This is back at home now, and you can see how quick the weather's changed. There's another all year rounder, is the dandelion. You know, if we can't find no evidence of flowers and stuff, we can always dig for the roots, and they're abundant in this particular little patch here, and some more planting over there. Ever present in the garden here is the bay leaves. I wouldn't expect to find them in a wild situation, but it's worth identifying one, because you get a slight scent off them. You pick the newer leaves, crush them. We can smell what we're after. We can identify that quite easily, even in a wild environment. Primrose, you know, you can plant these and you get these established. They'll grow early on for you, but every part of the primrose is edible. So a good salad plant, flowers, roots, the whole lot is edible. Oh, I've just spotted a strawberry, a miniature strawberry plant. But as I said, this is in the garden. This is not what I want to concentrate on. I want to concentrate on stuff that will benefit us in the wild. And here we have the pennywort or navelwort. It's last year's this. There's some new stuff coming here, so watch out for that. In even early spring, some more down here. This will establish and take hold, and it's edible. Again, you know, it's grown quite profuse here on the north face and wall. Not ruling out, as we said before, the blackberry. Anyway, there was a spring walkabout, and as we can discover quite early on, that we have a little bit of knowledge, we can identify greens and greenery that we can will help us sustain ourselves in a survival situation. Where it's in abundance, and that's only a few, you know. So again, early spring, this is what we're going to have to be living on, this fishing and hunting. You know, the nuts have gone, the fruit isn't arrived. This is the sort of stuff we're going to have to survive on, so get used to it. So learn bit by bit, day by day, one at a time, and remember, don't eat anything unless you're 100% sure, because there's a few baddies out there. Anyway, I hope you got a lot from that. This is Pete on Survival, signing out, saying please don't forget to like, share and subscribe.